Welcome to the 12 o'clock Eastern version of Speaker Co-working. We do this event now 3 times a day at 12 Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. Eastern. We're testing the 3 p.m. time because the 7 p.m. time has kind of been like this. So we may need to move it a little bit earlier throughout the day to help people to come on. Just testing out some new times. The time that's not going to change is the 12. We will always do this. This is sponsored by SpeakerHub, the world's largest AI-powered speakers bureau with over 63,500 speakers that use our products and services. We have over 4 million speaking gigs. We have the largest directory of speaking gigs in the world. If you find a better database of speaking gigs, let me know because I want to know who we're competing against. So we always start this off by having anyone who's new introduce themselves. So Lynette, this is your time to shine. Tell us what you do, where you're from. You got 60 seconds to let us know how things work in your world.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Lynette. I'm in Florida. I have a podcast for women of color in business. I interview Black women entrepreneurs. I also speak on the topic of radical self-love and self-care for entrepreneurs. I'm happy to be joining you guys.
That's cool. Are you related to LeVar Cottrell?
Nope.
You know LeVar Cottrell?
Nope, I don't.
Okay, let me show you who LeVar Cottrell was. Let's see. LeVar Cottrell, Cosby Show. You remember that shirt that they made for Theo?
Yes. Yes, I remember that shirt.
Gordon Cottrell. It wasn't LeVar. I knew it was the Gordon Cottrell TV show shirt.
Okay.
You remember when Denise made that shirt for
Yes, who can forget that?
Yeah, it's Gordon Cottrell. Okay, I messed up the name. I thought it was Lamar, but hey, that's it. That's what your name. That's the memory it brought up in my mind. So, but no, good to see you. You're always welcome. This is a family atmosphere, but this is a family with a mission, and the mission is to get more speakers booked on more stages, and to help people to get their message out. Everybody really has a responsibility to be the leader that they needed when they were in need. So any wins to celebrate for this week? Good to see you, Darren, Michelle. Good to see you come in. Janessa, good to see you. Any wins? Any bookings over the weekend?
One of mine was that I went on a podcast with Ann.
Okay, cool, man. High five. Way to go.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Got interviewed on. Have you ever read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
Yep.
So I spoke on the chapter of autosuggestion and how I use that to, one, become more successful in my own life, but how it also ties into my speaking subjects.
Oh, no, it's dope. Super duper cool. Any other wins?
I had a podcast on Friday. Oops, where's my video? Where's my video? Had a podcast on Friday, and it was really funny because we're in the same field, but we're able to draw the experience in different angle. So we started off introducing ourselves. She said she invited me because she realized that our paths were just so similar. And the audience would be thrilled to hear the perspective. She says, I haven't built facilities from a hole in the ground, but the way we go about things. So we had about a 15 minutes before we got into the recording. And after the recording, it was an hour conversation. I told her, she says, where you guys say I'm SpeakerHub. She's thinking about coming to SpeakerHub. And, she says, wow, that's a great platform. I never thought of it. I thought you came on because you heard me on Spotify. I said, we outdid Spotify. So it was an amazing conversation, on Riverside. So I'm looking forward to that. It was kind of nice because we were giving each other, in the interview, we were giving each other like eyes, like, wow, yeah, that's what I would do kind of things. It was beautiful.
No, that's good. Good to hear that, Jasmine. Jasmine is always on podcast.
Yeah.
We're one of the few speaking platforms that promote our speakers getting on podcasts because of the reach. Most speakers have only spoken in a room of about 75 people. So on a podcast, you can get in front of a room of hundreds of people and be more impactful with your message. But also, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. You can sell your products and services, things of that sort. The speaking industry is going through a dramatic shift in how the business works. In the past, speakers pretty much had a monopoly. And, they had a monopoly. If you had a triumphant story where you had, beat the odds and had something that could motivate people that their life isn't that bad compared to the things that you've overcome, you had a monopoly on that thing. But what ended up happening is that marketers started to realize that, wait a minute, Seven Habits, he built a $420 million a year business off of one idea, just selling books. He's been dead since 2012, and they're still doing 400 million in revenue a year on the one piece of intellectual property from that book. So marketers have become the new speakers. There are more marketers that are speakers than what there are speakers that are marketers. And if you know anything about marketers, marketers understand something called customer acquisition cost. So they're like, wait a minute, I'll go speak for free if I can get customers out of the audience, right? So you see more webinars than ever before. You see more summits than ever before. You see more speakers, speaking gigs, even NSA, National Speakers Association, over 50% of their stages at their conference that Angela and I went to back in August were sponsored speeches, meaning that they were accepting payment to speak at their event more than what they were issuing payments to speak at their events. So with that being the case, our belief is that we have to make our speakers better marketers. If you don't like marketing or you don't want to have a product to market, you're going to hate it over here. I'm just going to be real with you because that's where the money resides. The money resides with your ability to promote your products and services on top of just your speaking fee, right? So I tell people all the time, you probably don't want to apply to speaking gigs that I apply to because I'm paying them for the stage. And that's who you're competing against because I'm willing to write a check to get the stage time so I can sell my product and service. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still apply for speaking gigs and accept the fees if they offer them to you. But you should understand that this is a new wild, wild west, depending on what industry you're in, especially if it's business or consulting related. It's gonna be tough to compete with people who can shift who pays them. Now, let me make it very clear. I don't believe in free speech. I don't believe anybody should ever open up their mouth without getting paid. I think you should be able to shift who's going to pay you, right? So in the past, we relied on the event planner or the event host to pay us. Now I can get more money out of the audience. Does that make sense? So the event host may let me come on their podcast for free and give me a referral to 200 people. I was on a podcast last week, 17,000 users, right? My LinkedIn is beaming with people said, I heard you on Maker's Bar podcast. And I'm like, perfect, right? I did my job. I heard you on this podcast. Perfect. I did my job. So I didn't go on there for free. I just shifted who paid me. Does that make sense, guys? I'm where the check comes from. I don't care who the check comes from. I just care that the check comes. So 3 ways to get paid from a speaking gig. You get paid before, during, or after. The best speakers in the world have figured out to get paid at minimum of 2 of those ways, either during the event or after the event or before the event. But if you're just getting paid one way, I only get paid when I show up, you lose it. You are totally losing. And a great test of that is if you were to think of your top 5 favorite speakers, Mick, Lynette, AJ, John, Orain, think of your top 5 favorite speakers. How many of them have you heard speak live and in person? If the answer is less than 5, yeah, exactly 1, right? But the only reason you know about them is because you heard them speak free somewhere else, either on a podcast, a YouTube video, you bought one of their books, you went to a different training or something of that sort. So if those are the people you aspire to be like, you have to do the things that those people did. Does that make sense? So this ain't like Jesus. I'm not saying you got to learn to walk on water. I'm not saying you got to learn how to feed 5,000 people with 2 loaves of bread or whatever. You got to do no miracle. You just got to be faithful and committed to the thing that you're working on. And I think a lot of times we think we got to perform this miracle in order to become who we're really destined to be. But in reality, it's just we got to do one thing, and that's be consistent. So how many of y'all on here are trustworthy? Trustworthy, put your hand up, right? How many of y'all are likable? Right? So the only thing that's missing is that you're not well known. Right? So our job at SpeakerHub is to help you to become more well known by putting it in your hands, giving you the power to reach out to up to 4 million opportunities, 3.5 million podcasts, 44,000 conference organizers, 209,000 associations, and 170,000 journalists. So I want to hear it ain't no opportunity. Why? Because we only got 63,000 customers at SpeakerHub, and only about 600 of them have access to SpeakerHub Pro. So, so you got a monopoly in reality. And we're making some dramatic shifts to where we will no longer allow monthly payments for SpeakerHub. You're hearing it here. If you don't have a lifetime account, you probably ain't gonna get access to our stuff going forward. So if you're on here now, you already got a monthly account, you're good. But the monthly accounts are going away because we see a huge increase in activity from people that are 100% committed. I know it's gonna make a lot of people mad, but don't be mad at us. Be mad at yourself because you ain't committed to your own business. So those who are winning and committed to us, we're gonna give you exclusive access. Now, think about that. So that means that our lifetime members going forward, if you're not a lifetime member at SpeakerHub or already have a monthly account, our 44,000 conferences will be exclusive to you guys. Our 209,000 associations will be exclusive to lifetime members. Why? Because I got to commit to the committed. In the words of my favorite person in the whole wide world, my twin brother Yoda, no try not. It's do or do not. There is no try. Either you're going to pitch or you're not. Ain't no try. No more free trials. None of that goofy stuff. Y'all can have a speaker page, but ain't no try. It's either pitch or don't pitch, right? It's either speak or don't speak. Now, let me give you a great example of this. Jasmine. Jasmine's one of our lifetime members. So is Bart and Lorraine and AJ and Jadika and Kevin. And there's a gang of y'all on here. You know, we all lifetime. A lot of us are. Jasmine, try to tell me your name.
I don't need to try. I can just tell you my name is Jasmine Dennis.
No, try to do it. Don't tell me, try to tell me. Yeah, either you're going to tell me or you're not going to tell me. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. Either y'all going to speak or y'all not going to speak. Ain't no, I'm trying. Either you're going to speak or you're not going to speak, right? Either you're going to pitch or you're not going to pitch. Ain't no try. So we get rid of try. Because you know what we found? I went back and I looked at all of my historic purchase data. And 2% of the people who bought lifetime accounts never signed up for a trial. You know what they did? They said, I already need this. Bart didn't try it. Bart said, I need this. Boom. Jadika said, I need this. We didn't even have a trial at the time when Jadika bought it. Jadika bought it in July, and you couldn't even access the software.
And I was chasing you down.
Exactly.
Get on board.
There was no try. It was only due. Kevin, when it was $97 8 years ago, Kevin just bought it off of email. He didn't even get to see what it was, right? So we found that the data shows that those who pitched the most, they didn't need to try. They needed to do, and they already were doing it before they met us. So the value of what we do comes from someone already understanding the pain that goes through trying to get on stages, and then that we make it easier. Now, this isn't good news. This probably isn't the best marketing message in the world, but I don't care about vanity metrics. I care about results. Good to see you, Melanie Buncham. It's always good to see you when you hop on with us. I care about results, man. I care about getting people booked and those being committed to it. Larry Lundy never tried it out. Larry Lundy said, I'm in. If they doing it, I'm doing it. That's how Larry became a member of SpeakerHub. So
Trying is the stealer of many dreams.
oh, who you telling? And people don't usually try hard enough, right? They usually ain't trying hard enough. So I'm going all in with the people that are all in, and I think that that's fair. How do y'all feel about that? For those that are here, how do you all feel about us limiting this to fewer people? Because in business, it's like, oh, I want to let more people in, right? But if you limit those opportunities to fewer people, that's more opportunity for you guys. Again, our job is to minimize the excuse factor. Oh man, there's too many people doing it. Well, no, it's not. That's gone. So, Darren, glad you're a part of it. Melanie, glad you're here. Larry Lundy, good to see you always. Say, Ron, good to see you. But I'm looking for my people. So
yeah. So one thing I would mention about that is I completely agree with it because, like you said, you have to commit to the people who are actually committed rather than trying to commit to people who are half in, half out. It would kind of be like marrying somebody who also had their eyes on what's next door rather than marrying the person who is fully married to you.
100%.
I hope that analogy makes sense.
No, it makes sense. We totally get it. I mean, my thing is this. I just want to win, man. And, you know, everybody can't make the basketball team. Everybody can't play for the Lakers. Just, you know, and guess what it also does? My event planner is going to love us. We got 10,000 event planners that we will be activating. They're already in our account, but we don't really talk to them very much because we've been focused on the speakers. But our second quarter this year, we're focused on activating our 10,000 event planners. And imagine them now only having, we got 10,000 event planners that are looking for these few hundred speakers. Opportunities go through the roof, right? So people will still be able to have their speaker page and they can still hope someone Googles them. But for those who are proactively pitching, we will give you the exclusive access. Winners want to win. And several of you guys I've reached out to outside of here saying, hey, I got an opportunity. Can you talk to this person? Or this opportunity came across my desk. I only send them to lifetime people. I ain't you send it to somebody who's free. Like, that's just stealing. This is a waste of time, man.
You know, when Lennox closed the business and I went into real estate and the broker interviewed me, I had one leg, you know, there's a fitness club that was chasing me and said, oh, you're not working for Lennox anymore. We need you over here. So I said to the broker, can I work in real estate part-time? He said, no. Nope. You're either in or you're not.
That's it. You're in or you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for the committed, right? So now, again, let me end this on a positive note because I don't want people to think I'm just this Scrooge. I want people to win. And, you know, I was talking to AJ about, like, I love steakhouses, right? I'll go eat a steak anywhere. And I've heard, like, one of my favorite places in Medellin is a place called Don Diablo's. And it's a great steakhouse, dry aged. I mean, it's incredible. And people are like, man, I've been there before, man. It wasn't worth the price. And you know, my reply was, it ain't whether it's worth it, it's whether I'm worth it. You know, who cares whether you think it ain't worth a couple $100? It's whether I'm worth having access to this level of meal. That's the same question we have to ask as speakers. It's not whether SpeakerHub's worth it. It's whether it's worth it to you to get exposure to this number of opportunities. So I'm going to win with my winners, man, and we're going to push this forward. I'm glad you all are here that show up to this call. Lynette, hopefully this isn't surprising, but it's like a basketball team over here. We trying to slam dunk this thing. Like, we want to scare the losers away. You know, good to see you, Harriet. Glad you jumped back in. But we want to scare the people who was just kind of halfway in away. You know, so anything, Harriet, I want to ask you about the pitch challenge. Were you able to get in to get pitching? Because Lethea asked me for the account. She's like, we're going to start giving away the prizes, and I want to make sure you sent more than 2 pitches.
Yes. I've been going on, but interestingly, you have to wait 24 hours. So most of the time I work at nights. So when my time comes to pitch and it's bedtime, I still have like a couple more hours. So I end up pitching like the next day. So I'm not quite 24
Hey,
hours.
let me show you something. Let me show you what you're missing. See, there's a little feature here. I wish you would have told us this, because when you go to send a pitch, over here next to the send pitch button,
Yes.
there's this thing that says schedule.
What?
Yeah. So you can schedule them to go out the next day at whatever time zone you've set up. So
Oh,
inside of
I
the
didn't know
settings,
that.
there's a thing that has the time zone here.
Yes.
And you put your time zone. So whatever you schedule, it'll be scheduled according to your time zone. We've had a lot of bugs with this, but we got it fixed last week. We've had 0 complaints in the last 7 days. Usually we get a complaint every 7 hours. So
Can you go back and show me how to go?
yep.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready to send a pitch, right? There's the button that says send email, and then there's a little arrow. Right? Now, let me show you where we stole this from. Oh, let me go over here. Let me open up this thing here. If I was going to reply to this dude named Mike, guess what Gmail got? The same button. You see that?
Schedule.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We just took the same feature out of Gmail and put it in ours, so it looks the same. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
you got to use that. You got to use that.
I didn't know. Listen, if I knew, I would have used it.
That's why we here.
Yes.
That's why we here. You know. So any questions, any things you all want to talk about before I get into my little TED talk for today? I got some things I want to talk about that's, you know, a bit more encouraging and a bit more positive. But
Hey Ron, I got a question. Do pitches don't roll over month to month, right?
They roll over month to month if you got lifetime.
Okay, sounds
Right.
good.
But let me show you. Here it is. Here's how you can get rollovers. So if you come over to plans, there's a section that says add-ons. You come over here, you can buy.
Ron, we can't see your screen.
Oh, my bad. 1 second. 1 minute. That's why I got Ange here. Ange is my third set of eyes. I already got these 2 on and they ain't good enough. But if you go to plans and you go to add-ons, and once you go to add-ons, you can add rollover pitches, you can add team, you can add the chat GPT, you can add CRM. What most people don't know is that these aren't automatically included. You all feel like they're included because sometimes I just give them to people, right? But if you got lifetime, you got everything automatically. You get all of these automatically included. That's why a lot of those questions may have never come up. But rollover is there. Why? Because Cardis is my little brother. You've been considered my little brother for the last 2 weeks. You shouldn't have no pitches left over, bro.
I shouldn't.
Okay. All right, cool. Brother to brother, conversation over. What they rolling over to the next month for?
I know.
Send the daggone emails. These are not Bitcoins, my boy.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
We'll talk.
everybody else.
We'll talk.
My relationship with AJ and Cardis and Bart and Arain and Kevin and Jasmine and Darren and Sayron and a few other folks, Jadika, it's a little different than everybody else because we got this kind of this camaraderie where we just tell each other the truth. We gonna tell each other the truth because we all trying to win. Even John with his big old milk dud head, John Diggs. We all family over here. So this is how we get around, and we're brutally honest. Why? Because we know that there are lives at stake on the other side who need our messages. So that's how we win. Look on the leaderboard. Check the
Ron,
results.
I just wanted to say I pitched 1 time, the first time this week, first one to pitch. I am at the top of the leaderboard, first time ever.
Wait, let me see.
1 pitch.
Oh, wait. Come on, man.
Then somebody came and pitched us out to 175 first thing in the morning.
See, let me tell y'all what's happening. Kevin is cheating. Kevin is over in PitchDB in the old system where we moved all the speakers over to SpeakerHub, right? So he over there by himself. He over there by himself. Because we
Number
move
one.
him over to SpeakerHub. Yeah, we move you over to SpeakerHub. We're gonna see if you're on the leaderboard.
Kevin, that
I'm
won't
still over
last
there
long.
too.
That won't last long.
Look at this. I mean, because here's what they doing. Look at this. Bart, Claudine. This is so far today. Ricky Brown is over there.
Yeah, Ricky
Shannon,
knocked us out of the park.
Yeah, then Shannon just popped up out of nowhere. So, I mean, people are pitching. So, for those who don't know what this is, let me kind of give you an introduction to SpeakerHub. So, not only is it a family atmosphere, but the results that we get, which is basically one meeting with an event planner every 51 minutes. We don't take any commissions. We don't accept any ego. All we care about is getting you booked more, right? And we're able to provide this type of data because we are what we call a show your work company. We're going to show you everything that's happening on the product. If you wait about 3 more seconds, you'll see a little pop-up is going to pop up in the bottom left-hand corner, showing us the latest activity inside of the software. So with that being the case, we don't do a lot of the bragging. We just show our work. But we're able to get those results from what we call the speaker flywheel. Most speakers wait for people to reach out to them, but they usually are losing to those who are reaching out to the event planners. People who do outbound pitching are booked 7 times more than those who wait on an event planner to reach out to them. So we have the data that shows that. With that being the case, we don't believe that conferences are the only way to get booked. You should be sharing your message on podcasts, at local associations, at conferences, and through media outlets, whether that's the radio, writing your own books, television, any other, writing online, blogs and things of that sort. This is what makes SpeakerHub members different than anybody else in the world, right? Because we're using this flywheel to the best of our abilities. So we're committed to those who are committed to this, and we're going to keep pushing this forward as our mission and our MO, our modus operandi for getting more people booked. So this inbound side is what most people knew SpeakerHub for. This is where you had a speaker profile. And this profile gave you a page where somebody could find you in Google. Most speakers are not findable in Google. When we go and look for you, we usually don't find your webpage. So let me give you a great example of this. I'm going to pick someone off of here. Let's pick Avery Hicks, right? So I come in, I search for Avery Hicks. Look at all these other people that don't look like this dude. But look at the first page that came up for Avery Hicks, his SpeakerHub page. This came up before his any other thing that he has, because all these other folks are drowning him out. Do you see that? They don't look nothing alike. They have longer hair than him, right? And he has a better tan. But when we type in Avery Hicks speaker, look at the first thing that comes up. This is the power of having a profile on SpeakerHub and what we call inbound. When an event planner is looking for you, they're going to put speaker behind your name, and you want them to find you instead of the Damon Wayans version of you, right? If y'all get that joke, laugh internally. You don't want them to find the Wayans brothers version of who you are. So that's the power of inbound and what we talk about with the speaker flywheel. The outbound part is where we give you access to this leaderboard and this data here, where you can pitch yourself to the podcast you want to be on. You can pitch yourself to the local associations you want to go speak at. So if I wanted to go speak at insurance associations, I can type in insurance and it's going to bring up all the insurance associations that I should be reaching out to in order to go speak at one of their conferences or, branding summits or whatever. I can do all of that here. I can track all of my work. I can upload my own leads. After the event, I can use a QR code to capture leads from that event so that I can get more speaking opportunities. Those who are proactively pitching outperform those who don't. And we have all the data to show it. So any questions about that?
So I just have a question about my speaker page. So it's still set to the free version, and does the Do you know like how long it would take for that to upgrade, or is that
Yeah,
something you guys do
we'll
internally?
get that upgraded for you, Lawrence. No question. I was actually when Raquel left, we had to reassign that responsibility. But Ange, can you just have Raymar to upgrade his page? Lawrence
All
is
right.
one of our youth speakers or young adult speakers, we like to call them. They have a speaker scholarship. Anybody that's under the age of 22, if you are a speaker, if you know someone that's a speaker under the age of 22, we give them access to our tools for free. All they have to do is go to speakerscholarship.com. We want to encourage the next generation of speakers to kind of combat a lot of this foolishness that's happening with these, as the kids call them, YNs. I don't know what that means, but that's what they call them. You know, if y'all know what that means, oh well. Don't tell me in email. Let me know what it is. But that's what they call them. That's the new name for thugs. So we got to combat that by getting more people like Lawrence on stage to share a positive message, so we can turn them from YN to YMs, young men. Right? That's the mission here at SpeakerHub, is to be more positive in our community. Jasmine, what's up? Y'all probably ain't gonna hear YN on any other speaking software company in the world. But go ahead, Jasmine, what's up?
I just want to point out that I've noticed in pitching podcasts, a lot of the availability is now way down in the end of the year. So if people want to be active now in the spring, you see, I started in January, so I have consistent, appointments. But now the ones that are applying are now, when they show their calendar, they're at the end of June, they're at the end of July. So by the time you get on, like the year is almost finished. So you have to be proactive in pitching, those podcasts now, because a lot, even the one I told you on Friday, she already want to book a part 2 with me, or the podcast that you're on, they want to set up summits, and so this is where that is coming in now. So, and forget the Oprah, forget getting an Oprah this year. I should have known.
Exactly. No, I
It'll be
think
a long time.
Well, I think it's the theory that our framework, I shouldn't call it a theory, it's a framework that we know. We call it 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 quarters, right? So you usually can get on a podcast, if it's a smaller podcast, within 2 weeks, right? So remember this, podcasts usually going to be recorded 2 weeks out. Local associations are going to be booked 2 months out. Conferences are going to be booked 2 quarters out. 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 quarters. I was on a call last week and someone said, I want to do 20 gigs in 2025. And I said, okay, what type of gigs you want to do? They said, I want to do conferences. I said, great. Do you think you can do 20 gigs in November and December? They were like, no, there's no way I can fit that in. I said, well, that's when they booking for 2025. They're 2 quarters out. The conferences are 2 quarters out. So if you plan on doing 20 gigs in 2025, you can be doing a gig a day in December. I'm just being real with you. So you got to diversify your stages. Get on more podcasts while you're waiting on the associations. Do more associations while you're waiting on the conferences. If you don't have a product to sell, it is a sign that you will starve, or you will have to get a second job. This is a hard business to be in full time if you're only selling your voice. You ever been to a Beyonce concert or a concert? You go to a concert, what they sell? They sell CDs, they got t-shirts, they got all types of merch. They got napkins, they got whatever. Beyonce selling y'all everything, right? Chris Brown selling $1,000 pictures. You pay $1,000 to take a picture with Chris Brown. Why? Because they understand that the tickets aren't the only thing. They can't just make money off of their CDs. So they got to sell you the live concert experience. They sell you all the other things. How many products do you all sell? Let's talk about that. That'll be our topic today. AJ, what's your product? Usher throwing money. Yeah, he breaking up marriages. Usher is costing people half. Usher is costing people half their fortune because they get a divorce. If you take your girl to an Usher concert, you better sit at the top. Because he be divorcing people. But AJ, what's your product? What you got? Let's talk
So,
about product.
so I have my international retreat. I have what I call my C4 cash flow system, where I have a low ticket PDF. I have a group community course. A group community, and then I have a continuity program. So
Okay.
it's like 5 different products.
Okay. And do you rely on those products, or do you rely on paid speaking to pay for your life?
Oh no, those products I wouldn't trust paid speaking, I'm competing with people like you that's willing to pay for the stage. So I'm not gonna rely on paid speaking.
Makes
It's
sense.
cool when it comes. And I will say this, the only paid speaking I rely on are the stages that I create.
Gotcha. Okay. That's a different perspective. John Diggs, we don't go around to everybody. What products you got with your mind mapping thing?
Oh man, I got 5 mini courses. I got 3 max 4-week courses that have a bunch of videos in them. I have a international online community. I got a coaching business. I just got my first coaching client by way of speaking, podcast interview. So yeah, I got several streams. It's not just all speaking.
That's good. That's good. We got to have product, man. Arain, what you got product wise? I see you got a QR code. It better be selling something.
At the current moment, it's just speaking right now. I need to work on developing some products.
Okay. Hey, man, look, self-awareness is the first step. You know, the ability to be honest with yourself about where you are, that's the first step. We're here to help you, man. In April, we're going to introduce our new product that allows you to sell your books, that allows you to sell your coaching, that allows you to sell your courses directly through our system. And we will give you the leads. If you put your course on Udemy, Udemy does not give you your attendees of your class. If you put your book in Amazon, Amazon does not give you the names and email addresses of the people that bought your book. At SpeakerHub, we will. Let me say that again. We will give you the names of your customers, right? So we can't talk it if we ain't gonna walk it, right? Bart, what up? I know Bart got a movie. Bart do consulting, but let him tell it. What you got going on, Bart?
Book.
What's the name of the book? Embedded Enemy?
Embedded Enemy, the Insider Threat.
There it is. There it is. Jadika, products and services.
Well, let me see. I just did this the other day. So for my products, I have my book, Reflexology Today, A Family Affair. I have digital products. I created 5 self-help pain stress relief ebook series for infants to seniors. I have a financial pain stress relief wellness program system. I also have the services, which are virtual individual group pain stress relief consulting and virtual and individual group financial pain stress relief consulting. Let me see. The other thing is I have my training programs on pain and stress relief as well as financial pain and stress relief. So that's what I'm doing.
There it is. How cool is that? Look, high five. Yvette, what you got going on? Yvette got a whole bookshelf. If you ain't got a book and you got all them daggone books behind you.
Oh yeah, that was more for school, but I have 4 books. My AI equity from the lens of a disabled engineer, and 3 other books. I just released an anthology. So I have the speaking. I'm building an app for adaptive sports, just working with disabled athletes 24/7 around the world. So I have to build an app to make sure that they have access to the coaching, so spiritual and spatial coaching. And I think that's it. I'd love to do maybe a course or something. And I'm super excited about what you're doing for Bookshelf. And, I have to get an appointment with you. I've been sending you emails. So,
Oh yeah, no, we got you. We got you.
Yeah. So no, thank you for asking.
So with if you're trying to build an app around community, check out a plugin called Buddy Boss. Go to buddyboss.com. They have an app already that's built around community, and it's really inexpensive. There's no need to build an app from scratch anymore unless you're doing something like super duper unique that you've never seen. But if you've ever seen anything similar to it, you probably could buy it pre-built. But Buddy Boss is a good one. I've used that one.
Thank you.
Kevin Hempstead, what up? Mr. Map Process.
Yeah. Hey man, yeah, I am well, I have a 7 or 8-year-old book, and I'm pivoting away from that. That was discussing the Black people getting shot by the police, unarmed Blacks. So I'm pivoting to a more motivational, which is more me. And I'm working on my upcoming book, which is the journaling map to ultimate success. And the map process, working on a journaling course, a map course, which is MAP, memories of the past, actions of the present, plans of the future. And and a small win. I won my Toastmasters contest yesterday, so I'm the best Toastmasters speaker in Aurora, Colorado. Right? Okay, that's it.
Hey man, look. Let's not poop on our own awards. If you won, you won. High five. Why am I, dude? I ain't never won nothing from Toastmasters. High five to you.
Well, I didn't bring it up because it wasn't related to
hey man, look, we celebrate your wins and everything. We can't hold you accountable if we ain't gonna give you a hug when you do something good, so high five, man. Keep going. And I'm gonna go send 5 pitches just to knock you off that leaderboard over in Pitch DB, just to frustrate you,
Hey, Ron.
Melody Buncham, what's up? What products and services do you offer? Consulting, sales? What do you do?
I'm a real estate appraiser and broker, and I'm working on a book to show people how they could use real estate to have an opulent lifestyle.
There it is. You got to have product. And I'll show you why I'm bringing this up in a moment. Darren, what up? Mr. F42 himself.
Good morning, everybody. The product right now, man, is just speaking. Working on a couple other things, but taking my time also to make sure we get it done. Consistent.
Oh yeah, no, hey man, you got to start somewhere. Be sure to understand this: that if you have a keynote speech, you can put that keynote speech in multi-modalities, right? Yeah. We call it the Chipotle formula. Y'all remember me showing y'all about Chipotle? Y'all know Chipotle, right? You go to Chipotle, and let me see, Chipotle menu, right? So what they tell you, let me open this up. Let me show you. This ain't an ad for Chipotle, but you start with, they got the same food for everybody. They just depends on what type of bowl you want it in, right? If you want it in a tortilla, it's called a burrito. If you want it without the tortilla, it's called a bowl. If you want it with the lettuce at the bottom, it's called a salad. If you want it in 3 little tortillas, it's called a taco. If you want it in smaller portions, it's called a kid's meal. But it's the same stuff. It's the same speech with a podcast version, an association version, a conference version, a blog post version, a book version. It's the same taco speech. Why we act like we don't see this in real life? And then we get our products, we say, nah, mine only like this. Dude, Darren, if you don't put that outline of your speech and record it and chop it up and make it an audio book, all right, and elaborate on the topics and turn it into a course, you're probably bigger than me, but we're going to have a problem because it's people that need your help, man, right? Gotcha. They ain't going to be able to hear you speak. It's some kid that will watch you on YouTube and be inspired by what you have. It's some leader, some manager, as you're making that transition, that still needs to hear about the F42 method. But you're not giving it to them in the way they want to eat it.
I got a funny Chipotle story, man. When I moved to Texas, I'm not going to share it now, but just seeing that, I could probably put that in my speech too, though,
Hey, man, there it is. Make a different version of it. We gotta get it out there. Cardis Best, what up? Cardis B, Not Cardi B, but Carter's B.
See, you gonna make the internet go crazy, man. Like everybody's still gonna get
Hey
confused.
man, if we see you twerking online, we gonna kick you
No,
off.
no, no, never that, never that. That's not my lifestyle. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, so like I've been doing the lunch and learns to build like the series is and things like that. So that's gonna be going into my courses. That's probably gonna be one of my free just lead capturing tools. Other thing is I'm working on a book. It's called The Leadership Playbook. So it's going to be basically showing you the playbook of kind of like how you play football, how you prepare. It's not like, for example, it's not about the relationship with the playbook. It's the relationship with the trust in the coach of knowing what you need to do when you need to do it. So doing that, also doing a few video series, the mentorship piece for youth and adults. So like for young employees coming into get into leadership positions, teaching them how to do that. Youth to kind of like how to go into college and lead organizations optimally. And then outside of that, the leadership retreat that's in June. That's going to be in Jamaica or St. Thomas. And then the leadership conference for high school students. So those are the only things that I have going on.
Again, different modalities of the same message. That's what we got to remember. Harriet, you got another product? I know you're just now getting into speaking and kind of introducing yourself to it. You got any other products and services you sell besides speaking?
So I'm emerging. So I first started off with consultation. So I've had several clients, and their outcome is like super fantastic. So I decided I wanted to put it in a course. So I'm working on that. I'm working with a book coach because I don't know how to write a book, but I need to capture it in a book. So I'm working, trying to put the same thing like the taco method you say in a book. And then I went to the speaking. I feel like, oh, I have this consultation. I'm writing this book. I think I need to speak about it. So that's what brought me here.
Yeah, high five. Keep going.
And if
Keep doing it.
anybody can help in terms of mindset to write a book, I'm having a difficult time creating a mindset to write the book. So if anybody.
What we should do, I'll have Edge talk about how you can talk your book. Most great speakers are not great writers. So
Yeah.
what you do is you talk your book, you give your speech in a more expanded way, and then you have it transcribed. And then they have this cool thing called ChatGPT that can do the editing and turn it into chapter format so that it's more readable like a book. That's how I did my book, The Speaker Launch Formula, that you all will be getting access to at the summit. We're going to release the book, the course, and the coaching all at the same time because I can't sit here and talk to y'all about product. I'm going to have to show you. I'm going to show you how we launch our product, and we're going to put it on the same system that we're going to be asking you all to put yours on. But that was a book that I spoke. I didn't write it. I talked it. And I took the transcripts and I uploaded it, got them in the ChatGPT, and it did the entire thing. So Angela show you how to do that. She's done, I think, 6 or 7 books of her own or other people's. So she's very good at that. So we'll have Ange teach about that sometime. But
That's
good
nice.
job, Harriet.
Yeah, that's nice. Can I just do a quick follow-up? You mentioned that you're going to be doing all these different things and showing these different things. What would be so helpful is going into the nitty-gritty of it, not just say, oh, here is a book, but how did I get this book? That would be so helpful.
Yeah, so in the new platform that we'll be launching in April, all of these courses and the trainings will be in there, right? But what we know is that most people, I'll use a great example. A lot of times people want us to write out the entire way to pitch and to get booked. But the first step is to send the first email, good or bad, right? So the first thing is just write the outline and then take it one step. It's kind of like just in time. A lot of things in life are, I do as much as I can. When I run into a roadblock, I'll ask for help. I do as much as I can. When I run into a roadblock, ask for help. A lot of us waste a lot of time trying to get the entire map and overcome questions that we may never run into. Is that fair? So I want to make sure
That's
that
me.
that doesn't hold you back, right? I bought a lot of books that I thought were going to be great that were terrible. And I bought a lot of books that I thought were going to be terrible, ended up being great because it spoke exactly to what I need. So you can always edit, you can always get better, but it's never too early to start. Does that make sense, Harry? So we'll get you those things you
Yeah.
need, but just get started, get going, right?
I've been using your tips where you say in business, you fire, shoot, then aim.
That's it.
It's simple, but it works for people like me that overanalyze. So I want to thank you for that. I've been doing that and I've been getting little things done just by doing that.
So
Because
do
I
that
was
with the
afraid.
book.
Yes,
Do it with
I
the
was
book.
afraid. I was afraid to make mistakes. And when you said that, it gave me permission to make mistakes.
No, that's incredible. Harriet,
Sure.
we love you over here. Thanks for taking the action. Harriet has been with us for about a week, and this whole pitching and speaking thing is new. So it takes a lot of courage to take that first step. So, we're always here for you every single day. We all started in the same place, you know. Let's see, we got about 8 minutes left. Bonnie, Bonnie's on a call. I'll let her finish her call. All right. Yvette, you had your hand up for a second there, and then it went down.
I did. I just wanted to say to Harriet, another really great thing ChatGPT is good for is to just upload your book and ask them, would you buy this book? Is there anything you'd like to change? Like literally make it work for you. And that's a great filter before you maybe put it in Grammarly and then send it out to an editor. So these
Oh, yeah.
tools are pretty amazing. I hope that helps, Harriet.
Yep. If anybody on here wants to, this is something I learned a long time ago. In order to get reviews for your book before you put it out, bring it to a community like this and give us copies of it in PDF. Now, ain't nobody gonna steal your stuff. We don't care about it that much, right? We just want to help you out and give you some feedback on what we think about it. Now, here's one of the incentives that a lot of people have done. They do that, and then they say, I want to thank John Diggs and Angela Lewis for giving, just a little thank you line in the back on the last page goes a long way for a lot of people. Just that little small acknowledgement has helped me out so much, just saying thank you, right? So you can get a lot of pre-release reviews of your book to make it as impactful as possible, as long as you're not sensitive. The problem with being artists, sometimes we're too sensitive to the feedback of those who are trying to help us. So just don't be too sensitive. Who did I forget? Mick Thorne. What other products you got?
Ron, I do group consulting or group coaching, individual coaching, organizational consulting, speaking. I do have a I do have a book that I marketed terribly that sometimes I think about picking up out of the ashes, and sometimes I think about moving on. And I've got some video training courses also.
Cool, man. Hey, man, look, the oldest book that you know is still being marketed. They got a lot of different versions, a lot of different opinions on the interpretation of that book. So it's never too late to market your book, man. You're gonna be good. Just bring it back out. You and Kevin, yeah, Kevin got that one. So bring your police brutality book back out too while you point that one up there. Say, Ron, what's up? What other things you got? Tell us about your hidden gems. Okay, say Ron may be in a meeting. Let's see, Rhonda, you want to talk about what you got going on? I don't know if you're available. I see you're not on camera. Rhonda Ross.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Hi.
What up? What up?
Yes, hi. So I have a couple on-demand courses. One is a mini course. It's called The Crucial First Step. One is a higher priced course called Tune Your Inner Voice. And then I have a paid private community. It's called the Magic of Mindset podcast. It's a paid podcast. And I do workshops and I do consulting. And of course I have my concerts because I'm a singer-songwriter. So all of that is what I sell.
How dope is that? High five to Rhonda. Rhonda got a whole library. You know, she got a whole library.
I'm working on a few different books, like 3 different books at the same time, and using a lot of ChatGPT. Me and Chatty get along real nice.
Oh, that's super duper dope. Let's go to Lawrence. To bring Erica up to speed, what we're doing is we're just talking about the products and services that we offer. we got to take you all from being speakers. Speakers are losers. We need y'all to be more than speakers. We need y'all to be on the winning side. IP. Who wants to be a 6-figure speaker or a 7-figure speaker when you can be a 9-figure intellectual property owner, right? I mean, you got to think. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People did $287 million worth of sales last year on one idea. That was just last year. The guy has been dead since 2012, and his family is still eating off of his one book. One book. One book. I guarantee you, if something happened to Tony Robbins, his family will still be eating off of his Unleash the Power Within book, right? So we got to find our cornerstone IP, right? Lawrence, tell us about what you got. I know you got a book. What else you got going on, man?
So I do speaking, books, and consultations.
Cool. No, that's dope. You got to get started. You never, this lady, Omarosa, right? And she had a statement that said, I think it was, never the know-it-all, sometimes the teacher, always the student. And that really spoke to me because it talked about like, look, you'll never know everything, right? Sometimes you'll be called on to teach, but you should always be willing to learn, right? So never the know-it-all, sometimes the teacher, always the student. Lynette, you want to tell us what you got going on? I know this is your first day. You probably say, who is these crazy people trying to make money off of their knowledge and make millions of
I'm
dollars?
loving it. I'm loving it. I'm learning
All right,
so
I'm about
much.
to say, because
so
if not,
much.
we're going to kick you out. No, I'm just playing. I'm joking. What you
So
got
what I
going on?
have going on is I have a book, planning journal for Black women entrepreneurs. I have workshops. I have merchandise that I sell. I have a second book in the works, and I have my podcast.
High five. High five. Now, so did everybody get a chance? Did we get to everybody? Erica, Shoemate, Jasmine, you ain't, oh, my bad. Let me go to Jasmine. Jasmine keep putting her hand up and moving around on my screen. I got to go in order. Y'all be moving. Jasmine, go ahead. Tell us what you got.
I'm the Black Italian. Remember that. My hands are always going, right? I'm doing a lot. I have 3 books and just helping me with one. I'm working on 3 more. I'm a certified herbalist. So I'm working with someone to develop a line of wellness products, to sell thing. I'm developing a course, which I'm waiting on you to get it on your, the course is developed, but I'm going to launch it on SpeakerHub, the course. And I have some coaching clients that I'm working with. And I'm also in the midst of writing an article for a magazine.
Cool. That is super duper dope. And you just brought up a great thought. If you are a lifetime member of SpeakerHub and you want your course to be live at the Pro Speaker Summit as one of our first courses that we will promote to everybody as the demonstration. Like whenever Apple come out with something, they usually got like 5 apps that's demonstrating the new feature that they added. We will it's coming up in April, but you gotta, get your stuff together. We will put your course as one of the first courses inside of the new SpeakerHub. This is part of being a lifetime member. You get access to all the new features first. Jadika, that's what I promised you. Bart, that's what I promised y'all when y'all signed up. You all will get all the beta access to all the new stuff before everybody else. Well, when it goes live and when we launch the new platform in April, we don't want my course in there. We need other users' courses, other people's courses in there too, because they want to learn what you're doing. If I could learn how to make my shoulder stop hurting without having to take an ibuprofen, I'm gonna figure out how to chop this side of my neck to make this side stop hurting. I'm gonna figure it out, right? This is what we want to do. We want to help you all to get out there. Now, let's go to Erica really quickly. Erica, she probably got shoes for sale. Erica got every pair of Jordan 1s in the background.
Look, I don't even like shoes like that. My husband likes shoes, and so I got these shoes. Okay, look, I like heels. I'm petite, under 5 feet. Look, this is for him.
All right.
I know. I seem bigger than I am, Angela. I know. Okay.
Sorry, it's just because I'm 6'1", and so when I heard that you're under 5 feet, I was like,
Yeah, and my husband is 6'2", so there you go. Look.
So what's your product, Erica?
Okay, I so I know I mentioned on the call a couple weeks ago about what has transpired being here in DC with federal workers. So as a result of the free workshop that I offered on President's Day, I have since created an accelerator program. It's a 2-week accelerator program for live sessions. And it is called the Career Quantum Leap Accelerator Program. Because if you know me or you don't know me, I do a lot of work in the policy, but specifically emerging technology. So Quantum Leap. So raising is the reason why I named what I named. And then I also do a lot of consulting, expert consulting. So people reach out to me, so I'll get paid from that. And then lastly, I am also an editing consultant as well. I'm having to recently pick that back up because of what's happening here. So those are the things I have for now.
No, that's cool. I mean, look, we gotta be selling something other than our voices. When you asleep at night, somebody should be able to buy something from you, no matter where they are in the world. Why? Because it's 12 p.m. right now, but in Taiwan, where one of my best friends live, it's 12 a.m. And when we sleep, it's gonna be daytime over there, so they can buy my stuff no matter where. Your stuff gotta be on sale. You hear me? Once you do the work to put it out there, it should be available for purchase, right? Bonnie, what else you got? The Anxiety Avenger.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put my rename on there. Hello. It's funny, the little gems that you drop, Ron. Really appreciate them. So there's a journal that goes with my book to help people figure out what's happening behind their anxiety, help them identify their emotions and get a start getting a path forward out of being stuck in anxiety. It's a little journal section. Ding. Thinking about writing courses in other areas, I'm like, oh, right. People who don't see my book, I should just turn the journal into a course. Yes, I can do that by April.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
just
thanks.
record it. Here's the thing: you ain't got to make 18,000 videos. Like, here's what I've learned: you got to solve one part. Solve the biggest, most pressing problem. We try to solve all 10 problems in the thing. We call it the big domino. Erica just asked the question. We are 4 minutes in overtime. We usually stop at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then we usually go into overtime until my next meeting. My next meeting is, I canceled a bunch of them, so we got time. We're going to be here. We're going to help you out today. You can stay as long as you want to stay. But the reason why I bring that up is there was Star Wars, and then there was like 8 of them, right? We got to get the big domino. Does that make sense? What's the big thing that if they believe this one thing, it sets them up for the next 10 things? I know at our company, me teaching you how to write emails and how to, do all this research isn't as effective as if I just get you to click send. I got you. So my thing is I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna try to trick you into clicking that orange button to show that it's painless. So our job as entrepreneurs is to get the one thing that they need to believe. If we can solve that one problem. Now, let me walk you through this real quick because this is super duper duper important in product development. It's called the big domino. Right? The big domino is what is the one thing I need you to believe first for you to jump in the vehicle, which is my solution, right? So whenever I teach this, I always use religion as the way to explain it. So if we think of the 3 major religions that everyone knows, Judaism, Christianity, and we can use the 4, right? Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and agnosticism, right? So in order to be agnostic, you got to believe one thing. There is no God. God doesn't exist. If you believe that, you can be an agnostic. Really easy. But if you believe that God exists, you can't get in an agnostic car. Does that make sense? So that's their one big domino that you got to believe. If you want to believe in Judaism, you got to believe that the only books in the Bible that make sense are the first 5 and Moses, the Torah. It's the only thing that matters. You don't go to church. You don't care about the cross. All you care about is synagogue and the first 5 books called the Torah. If I butchered that, don't be mad at me. This is my perspective. If you want to be Christian, you got to believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sins. If you don't believe that, don't go to church, because that's what they're going to teach. That is the vehicle that gets you to heaven. If you going to be Muslim, you got to believe Jesus wasn't the only one. You got to believe that Muhammad also had some important words. That's the vehicle you need to believe. If you don't, you get in the wrong car with the wrong set of beliefs, it's called a refund. When people come to SpeakerHub and they believe that they're going to get 18 speaking gigs without sending pitches, they usually get offered a refund before they even ask for it. I'm going to give you a refund because you're in the wrong place. You got to go to mythical Speakerville. But over at SpeakerHub, you're going to send these pitches. Right? So what's the big thing that they need to believe in order to follow Bonnie? What's the one thing that they need to believe that makes everything else that Erica teaches true? Let me give you a great example. You all have ever heard of the Atkins diet, right? In order to do the Atkins diet, you got to believe that carbs are bad. In order to be vegan, you got to believe that meat is bad, right? In order to be carnivore, you got to believe that everything is bad besides beef. In order to be paleo, whatever they call it, pescatarian, you got to believe that everything is bad besides fish. You see how there's this, I got to find what I believe. I got to set the standard of the one big thing. Most of us got too much stuff because all the different ideas we're trying to teach and all our little ancillary things aren't around one thing. Because we don't know what's the one thing they need to believe first to make all these other things work. So we throw a bunch of spaghetti against the wall. Now, let me show you. So over at SpeakerHub, we have one big thing. And you all know what that one big thing is called. It's only one big thing. This. The flywheel. If you don't believe in this, the rest of our 70 frameworks don't matter. Because this is the Cornerstone framework, right? When we go to Franklin Covey, if I can get this, when I go to Franklin Covey, what the heck? Franklin Covey, there we go. When we go here, it's all built around one idea. The main idea is 7 habits. If you don't think that the 7 habits work, you're in the wrong place because everything is built on this cornerstone idea. This is the one for individuals. This is the one for management. This is the one for corporate culture. This is the one for individuals. And outside of that, like what's the next thing customer service wise? Does this make sense? But it's one concept. We got to get our cornerstone framework in place. Paleo, CrossFit, keto, Judaism, Christian. I can just keep going on and on. We see it all the time. What's going to be your cornerstone framework? Now, you don't have to have it today, but you had better be working on it because it's the thing that separates you from everybody else. AJ, I do small conferences with under 20 people that help people to make 6 figures. Everything that he teaches outside of that builds up to that one thing. I help people relieve pain without having to take medicine by using massage. Everything that Jadika sells leads to that one thing. I help you to be safer when in emergency situations. Everything that Bart teaches leads to that one thing. Is this making sense? Right? Better pizza, better ingredients. That's all that Papa John's talks about. That's their one thing. 30 minutes or less. Domino's, one thing. The pizza can taste like trash, but did it get there in 30 minutes? Yep, cool. Mission accomplished. Right? So, what's our cornerstone framework? Right? Anything related to that? Lawrence, 30 seconds.
Yes. So my question was on how do we make sure that it is as clear as possible? Because the one that I'm using so far is I help teens and young adults improve their beliefs in order to improve their life.
Okay. All right. I got you. Here it is. So that's not bad. Here's the best way to deal with this. What's the destination that you're trying to take the person to?
I would say mine is mainly a successful life where I need to be more clear on it because I have it in my head, but when I put it in.
But let me help you for a second. You don't have to solve it today, Lawrence. You're 19, you're 21, somewhere around there. I ain't know shit at 21. I thought I did, but I didn't. I had to keep living until I had some real world experience that I could teach, right? At 21, you know what you say? How to make it out the hood, how to be positive, how to have the right mindset, how not to get shot. Dude, look, you got a lot of time to make money because success nowadays is defined by money and all these other things. So work your way up to that, but don't focus on that because they're going to call you an imposter. Does that make sense? This is coming from a guy that had to sell investments at 21 when I could barely pay my rent.
Yes,
and the people would say, hey, why would I take financial advice from a 20-year-old college student when my kids are 30 and I think that they're stupid?
Okay, yeah, perfect. So
hold on. Just let that soak in.
Don't interrupt the preacher.
Don't run past that. Don't run past that. Let that soak in. You're in a great room with people that can help you, right? But you got to let it soak in a little bit so that your roots get deeper. And the deeper your roots get, the better off you are in the long run. This is training for you, right? These calls are training for all of our scholarship guys. So we don't expect you to have it figured out, bro. We're here to help you. I just want to make sure you understand that, right? You're where I wish they would let me in a room with people like us when I was your age so that I could get deeper roots, right? So just let it soak in. You ain't got to figure it out. We're going to help you, but you ain't got to solve it in the next 3 seconds. So just let it soak in, take it over your head, let it get all in your pores, and you are going to change the world, right? So don't feel like you got to have it solved today. Is that fair? Is that cool? So we're going to help you. We got you, right? Now, here's what I want the point I want to make is that as we keep going, nobody has it all solved. But the more we spend time wrestling with it, the better it becomes. People think I figured out this speaker booking thing by mistake. I didn't. I bust my behind to figure it out. And I still can get better. I'm still sending questions to speakers on a daily basis saying, yo, what am I missing? How come this person or this group gets it, but this group doesn't? We always are going to be refining our cornerstone frameworks. Does that make sense? When Stephen Covey launched, he had one book. It wasn't the 24 courses. Does that make sense? The longer they sat with it, the more perspectives they got. So I don't want Lawrence or anybody else on this call, see you later, Rain. I don't want anyone else to believe that you got to have it all fixed before you get out there. You're going to learn as you go. That speaker flywheel thing, it wasn't codified until last July. If I showed y'all the ugly versions of it, y'all be like, man, it didn't even have, no, we was missing a lot of stuff. But the more I talked with speakers, the more I reviewed what the results we were getting. Again, the results we were getting. A lot of theory out here. A lot of people got theories. That's why I didn't want my brother Lawrence to get caught up in the theory of success. I wanted him to have the reality of success. Does that make sense? Fake it till you make it is the easiest way to lose trust and lose confidence. Nobody can ever argue with me about stuff because I'm going to show you. Argue with these numbers, idiot, right? You can't argue with the results. Because you know what? I'm going to show you my numbers and I'm going to ask you to show me yours. And that's going to solve the question. You tell me you get speakers booked, cool. I'm going to show you. I'm going to invite you to come talk to my speakers. That's how you win, right? So we want to be sure that you all can have a cornerstone product that you can continue to develop for the rest of your life that's impactful. And it don't need to be for everybody. I use the 7 habits as a way to just show you the opportunity of one idea. Yours ain't gotta ever be $500 million. See you later. See you later. I don't know who's leaving. I'll be running people off. My bad, but I just care so much about this. Because I be wanting y'all to win. Good Lord, man. I forgot what I was gonna say. Erica, what's up? Let me relax. Let me drink my water.
You look, you need your fan, you need the water preacher, and you gotta do this with your little beads.
I mean, I just want us to win, man. Like, I'm tired of so many broke speakers. 80% of speakers make less than $50,000 a year. But you got the power to change the world. That ain't my numbers. That's y'all numbers. Y'all filled out the surveys. Right? Harriet, what's up?
Oh, don't forget. No, don't pass me by. Savior. Anyway, I need some help. Okay. The virtual assistant piece. How do I connect with you on that part?
Okay. Yeah, I'll and could you give her my calendar? We'll talk about it.
You ain't got to Friday. Like,
Huh?
I need somebody. Your first available is Friday. I already looked.
Yeah, but that's just because I wanted to stop people from booking me. And send her my phone number in the chat and just text me.
Oh, okay, I would do that. I got it.
Yeah, I mean, in the last 2 weeks, we've had over 420 applications to join SpeakerHub, and I have it on my calendar to meet with all of them. So I'm doing probably 20 to 25 appointments a day. I start at 7 a.m. every morning. I go back to back every half hour until 7 p.m. at night. So I don't really care about y'all talking about y'all ain't, man, it's too busy. Yeah, okay. You're talking the wrong one because I'm busy every day, right? So when I got to do 3 meetings, man, you don't get up out of here. You don't get up out of here with that crap. But Harriet, what's your story?
So I just want to say I've been sitting on a course since last year for more than 6 months, trying to. I wasn't on this call. I wasn't on this call. I'm telling you, this is so important for me. I just kept on trying to improve this course, but now I have a new challenge, which is I can get it out in April. But I don't understand technology stuff, so how do I put that on your platform as a course? Do I make it in a video on my own and upload it somewhere?
Yep, we got it. We'll walk you through all of that. Just have the course in video format and some of it in text, like a guide, and we got you. You need videos, an outline, and a guide. We'll take it from there. Because here's the thing. We want it to be up to a certain standard. So we're going to give you the guideline so that it looks good. We don't want, we always say, look, I ain't into half-assing. I want to whole-ass it. We got to do it all the way. We can't go just barely do stuff. We got a lot of low-quality crap on the internet already, right? So if you got a high-quality course, we're going to help you to make it look high quality so that it stands its own ground next to the other courses. Because our stuff going to look good, right? And we can't have yours barely done. No. The lifetime people, we will work with you on getting it looking good because it makes our platform look good. Does that make sense? Now, you see, Erica got all them shoes back there. Imagine if one set had mud on it. It would stand out from all the rest of them, right? But she ain't putting them on the rack with mud on them. So we're going to polish y'all up before we put you out there so that you're not embarrassed. Does that make sense, Harriet? We got you.
Yes. So So what do I do from here then? Like, I still don't know.
We'll be in contact with you. We got you. You
Okay.
got, but what you need to do is to do your videos and
Yes.
get your stuff organized on your side. We'll take it from our side.
Got it. Okay.
Does that make
Thanks.
sense?
Yes.
Cool. Bonnie Brindle.
Thank you. That's really helpful to know that you guys will help out when we get the videos organized for courses. But I just wanted to address Harriet for a second. Hi, Harriet. I'm an academic and an overthinker and someone who never looked at social media before last summer when I retired from the education world. So let me just say, take a deep breath or 10 and recognize that you're in a process and you're going to be amazing and that it's going to take some time to learn some things, but it's one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself and think that you have to become a technological goddess in a week. Take a breath. These guys will help. It's going to be okay. I feel you.
That's it. No, I mean, it's the same thing. We want minimum effective dose, right? What is the one thing that I can do that has the biggest effect on everything else, right? So, say, Ron, what's up?
Yeah, hey, how are you? Just a very quick question. I think I put it on the chat as well.
Okay, and you want to read that question?
Yeah, it's like I was asking an estimate. I mean, not definite. If my program is only 28 days, 1 month, how many video I should create, like an estimate, like 10 video, each one 20 minutes, or
Okay, so let me kind of give you an idea of what our vision is of where we're going with the course platform at SpeakerHub. We want the one big domino, right? What's the one thing you can solve in 45 minutes? If you can't solve it in 45 minutes, get it down to 45 minutes. People got full-time jobs, they got a lot of stuff. If it's a long-term coaching program, that's something you want to go through with them. Does that make sense? But your concepts, we got to, as speakers, we have to be better at our 10-second, our 30-second, our 3-minute, and our 45-minute.
I didn't know about
can't
the
tell you
45 minutes.
anything. Go ahead.
I didn't know about the 45 minutes. I just knew about the 30, the 10, and the 30, and the 3 minutes. Now I know about the 45
Yeah,
minutes.
we didn't introduce the 45 minutes because people weren't very good at the 10-second, 30 seconds, and 3 minutes. Right? So now that we're coming to the course platform where we're going to let our lifetime professional speakers teach a concept, you have to be able to get that concept out in 45 minutes.
Agree.
Let me tell you why. Because that's the same length of a podcast.
Agree. Yeah.
And each section of the videos of your 45-minute thing should be 5 to 7 minute videos. You should be able to get through your concepts really quick. Now, why? Because if you can do it there, it builds their confidence that they should buy coaching from you. Does this make sense? This is basic educational technology, right?
Yes.
Where it's so we want to be sure that they can come in, walk away saying, man, I watched that and I got something. If Lynette leaves here today saying she didn't get anything out of the hour, it's my fault. It ain't nobody else's fault. I should have been able to communicate what we're trying to accomplish at SpeakerHub in the hour and 25 minutes she's been here. If she left in the first 20 minutes, she should have walked away with something. Even if it's just how the speaker flywheel works. Does that make sense? Imagine me needing 45 minutes to explain the flywheel. We'd be out of business. Right? Imagine if I needed 45 minutes to explain how frameworks work and why you need a Cornerstone framework. We'd be out of business. Now, I can get into all the details about all of that, but just I got to get that first domino on this thing. If I can't get them to believe that one thing, that Jesus is Lord, or Moses is the person, or Muhammad is this person, or God doesn't exist, or that it should be there in 30 minutes or whatever the belief system is, I got to be able to communicate that in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, and at the most 45 minutes. Does this make sense? Now, why is this super duper duper important? Because people got families and they got information overload. Your job is to be a curator of the information, not an aggregator of the information. Who knows the difference between a curator and an aggregator? An aggregator gathers all the stuff and say, search through it. Well, that's freaking Google. They don't need you for that, right? Somewhere in the middle is ChatGPT. It aggregates information, but ChatGPT is still kind of stupid. Like, I mean, I get frustrated with that thing all the time, but then I think about the alternative, which is doing this myself. I'm like, let me just go work on my prompting skills.
Facts. I think I pissed at the thing. I'm like, no, that's not what I want.
This thing is dumb sometimes, right? So I'm in there today and I'm asking it different questions about different stuff, right? So I uploaded what is the one problem you would make go away from all of our speakers, right? And then I asked it a very simple question. What's the categories? And I'm like, this don't add up to the 400 answers I put in here. I'm like, dude, show me
It's
the 20.
hallucinating, I swear.
Yeah, and it's giving me these things. And I'm like, man, how many of these had no
Did you
problem?
report it as a mistake?
Yeah, but you just go through and you're like, well, anything that says gig in it is about growth. They're like, no, it's not. I'm like, you're stupid, right? But when I thought about having to read and categorize these things myself, I decided to work on the prompt, right? So, I'm like, dude, that's not correct. He said, well, let me just give it to you this way, right? But this is the idea. The idea of what we're trying to do is to not make you an aggregator of information like Google, but to make you a curator of information. Does that make sense? So my job is to take the things that I know, analyze it, and give it back from my perspective and let it be known, this is just my perspective. There are a lot of great speaker coaches out there that can teach you how to write a great speech. And in their title, they will say, UE will help you to get booked, but they can't show the results. I don't know how to write a great speech, so I don't teach that. But you know what I teach? I can show you how to get booked, and I show those results. So my speaker reel would just be stats of my speakers getting booked. Their speaker reel would be them on stage giving their eloquent words. But I just stay in my lane. So I should be able to explain my stuff in 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 3 minutes, 45 minutes at the most, giving those little breakdowns. Is this a great framework for how to teach a new concept? Because what ends up happening, we go on for too long, right? So on SpeakerHub, it will be 45-minute courses. Now, let me ask y'all something. Go and break it down so y'all understand. We ain't selling no $10,000 training programs on SpeakerHub. We ain't selling $5,000 training programs on SpeakerHub. With approval, we may let it go up to $100. Why? Because we need the people to be able to buy your stuff, get what they want. And if they want to go deeper, go deeper. They can do that outside of our platform, but we want to keep it just like Udemy. Y'all seen Udemy? Y'all been on Udemy before? Right? With Udemy, my stuff gonna be in Spanish money, so let me fix it so that y'all don't think these courses cost $18 billion. Yeah, you see, $42,000. That ain't right. English, but it won't let me change the currency because I'm in Colombia. But Udemy offers courses. Ange, can you share your Udemy page in English, not in my Colombian money? Udemy sells low-cost courses, but I'm going to show you what the advantage is to doing this. So you can see as low as $13, right? A lot of these different things. So pick one of these, go down, go and pick one. It don't matter, just click on one. That one right there, click that. Now, let's do some basic math. How much is this course? Wait, stop, Ange, don't move, stay there. $22. How many people took this course? No. 700. How many of y'all would sell a seven? I wish I could get 700,000 people to give me $20. Right? He got 150,000 reviews. See, we got the skills. We're trustworthy. We're likable. We're just unknown. And then you price yourself out so then nobody gets to know you. Does that make sense? So we want to be in this area in between $7 to $100. Because you got to make some money. Yeah, right now, y'all selling $0. We got to get your confidence up. Sell that $7 book, and then the $37 audio book, and then the $67 mini course. And then at the end, give a call to action for them to buy consulting from you. Does that make sense? Because all y'all just said, y'all would, 700,000 people want to buy my stuff for $22, I'd give them all of it. I sure would. That's $14 million. I ain't stupid. I was born on a day, but it wasn't yesterday, right? Like, I'm just being real. Is this making sense? Do you all see the vision of where we're going? We got to raise that 40, hold on, real quick, and then we're going to hop off because I got to go get lunch before my next call. But I want to bring this up here because I think it's really important. When I come over here to our insights and I see the answers to the questions, most speakers are doing less than 10 gigs. That's 73% of the industry is doing less than 10 gigs. You see that? For me, it's easier to raise this number by helping you all sell courses and trainings than what it is for me to get you all motivated to get on more stages. Why? Because you can sell these while you sleep. And if you're making enough money here, you'll love to get on stage to promote your course and your books that you got. But 73% of the industry is under $25,000. I don't care what they say on Instagram. 88% of the industry is under $50,000 in revenue as a speaker. It's because you're only relying on one mode, and then speakers like me are coming in saying, I'll pay to get on that stage. Does that make sense? Right? Harriet, question?
Quick, because I know you gotta go. Yep. Just like you have that opportunity for the courses and you explain why you do that. Can you have something like a bookshelf where your speakers are able to put their books up? Even if it's not for purchase, just something like a bookshelf. It just gave me an idea.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. We want to attribute it back to you. So you'll be able to put a book, but you want the person to register to get their email address. They may not pay you in money, but you want them to pay you with an email address.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So let me bring up the design that Maria sent to me. They updated it and it looks super duper duper incredible. We got to see the final version that goes live this morning during our training.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to share this real quick. Right. So here's the new speaker page design. Right. So the first thing you're going to see, it has your bio and what topics you talk about, along with what's your expertise. Your topics and expertise are not the same. Does that make sense? Topic is generic. Expertise is specific, right? What are you available for? What types of opportunities you're available for? What's your fee? Where are you available to go? Who have you worked with in the past? But here's your signature Cornerstone product. That's why I'm pushing this so hard, because you got to have your 7 Habits product, something similar. Makes sense, right? Then you can have workshops and webinars that people can check out. Then there are your courses. Then we got testimonials. And then you can sell your books. And then you can show your awards that you've got. Does this make sense? So this is a platform for you to be able to show all of your stuff, right? So you'll be able to put all of the podcasts you've gone on, the events you've spoken at, your speaker reels from that event. Remember, we talk about getting reels from everything. Your testimonials, all of your things from your speaker QR will pop up here. There are your courses. There are your books. Now, I want to go ahead and address something else that Harriet brought up. How hard is this going to be to use? Well, let me show you, because it's already live. We're just testing it on our side. So I can show you how easy it's going to be really quickly. So Harriet and Bonnie and everyone else that is afraid of tech, we've made it as easy as possible, right? So if I wanted to upload a new course, all I do is come in and I add my course. So let me see if I can do that. He may have turned it off. Oh, create new course right there, right? So I come in, I click create new course, put in my course title, Beatbox Remix. Who's the author? Me, right? This course is a demo. Boom. Put my photo in there, whatever photo I want. I don't know what these say, so I ain't gonna put nothing in there because I can't see the photos. But you put your photo right there. Can you do that? Right? And then you save it to draft. Why? Because you don't know what's out there. Right? So you're like, well, I want to see it before I make it public. Now I can go look at it. Let's see what it looked like on the desktop. Boom, the Beatbox Remix course. Right? I can go back and I can see what it's going to look like on mobile. You see how simple we've made this? We made it super duper duper easy. This is what it's going to look like on the phone. Right? And then I can go back, I can say, okay, I see how that works, but let me go to the course builder. Let me add my lessons. Can you click the button and upload your lessons? You can even add quizzes. So I'm at lesson 1. Don't spit on people, right? First rule of beatbox. Boom. You see that? Is this making sense? This is how easy it is, right? So now I got that part. Let me go to my settings, right? Do I want it to be free form where they can go in any direction, or do I want them to have to go in order? How do I want it to display? Do I want to give them a certificate? You can design your own certificate. Do you have any course materials, meaning a PDF download, all of that? Does this make sense? You can see all of your users who are enrolled. How cool is that? Make sense? Share your settings. You look, I want Maria to come teach this part with me. Boom. I can invite Maria to co-teach a class with me. So let me give you a great example of this. Y'all know I always talk about it. I ain't the best person to teach speaking. So I can say, hey Jay, how many courses you done taught on how to give a speech? I done taught a bunch of them. How much you sold? I sold at least $100,000. Cool. You qualified to teach a course with me. Come and teach people how to do this thing. You see how you can partner together, guys. This is huge. That's what they do at Udemy. Did y'all see that? These people got 8 people teaching a course. Here it is right here, Udemy. Look at this. This course is taught by, some of these got 3 developers on it. Tom and Learning Digital Advertising and ING. I don't even know who they are. But you see, they got multiple people. So we're going to do the same thing. So you can collaborate. This is not a competition, guys. It's a lot of bread out here. Is this making sense? Can we get some high fives on that? This is like super duper dope. This is gonna be game changing. And
So how do you, if you have multiple speakers, how do you split the revenue share?
that's between y'all.
Okay, so it just needs to go to one account.
Look, man,
All right.
look. I got the best revenue share is 90% to us, 10% to y'all. If you don't want that, figure it out on your own. Y'all negotiate that on the backside. Does that make sense? Because y'all should be starting a business together or figuring it out, or at least agreeing who the transfer should go to, what checking account that goes to. Does that make sense?
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. And then y'all can arm wrestle for the money. Bonnie raised her hand and ran away. Oh, there it is.
Sorry. Noise
It's like
downstairs.
we used to knock on the door as a kid and run.
Oh,
That's
all the time. And the phone calls too, but we won't talk about that. Thank you. I expected when I joined SpeakerHub that you would solve the here's how you get your speaker self out there. What I didn't expect is that the platform would do so many things that will solve for me personally the feeling that I have to be on every flipping social media piece to put all these things out and together. And if that is overwhelming to me, and I don't want to hire somebody to do all that sort of thing. That's just not where I'm at. So the fact that not only we're pitching and all the things for speakers, but you can sell the book, you can put the course on, the whole thing. I just really appreciate the expansiveness of this platform. So thank you for all the work you're doing to just daily make it better all the time. I really appreciate that.
no. High five to you guys for the feedback, right? The one thing that I get all the time, I used to get, we would get questions about things that weren't related to SpeakerHub. Hey, I'm using Go High Level. I'm like, dude, I don't work for them. Like, I'm not about to be doing free support for ClickFunnels. Like, get up out of here, right? But I can keep complaining about it, or I can listen and see, well, this is where they're struggling. Why don't we make something easier? Like, do you really need 19 platforms? Why don't we just make it easier? I got to export this and use Zapier to do this. And I ain't got time for all that. Let's just build the stuff that they need, the essentials. How many of y'all would be happy with the extra $2,000 a month? That's it. So we don't need the 8-figure speaker thing. We need $2,000. I'm gonna get y'all to $2,000. Right? Because that $2,000, your confidence goes through the roof. Because if I got to 2, if I just keep doing it like this, I'll get to 4, I'll get to 6, I'll get to 8. But most folks tell you this big dream and they not even helping you push the big domino. Does that make sense? So I don't want you all working on an 18-hour course. Get this 45-minute thing down. Is that fair?
And when you get your 2,000, don't get married and give it away to someone else.
They're gonna take half of it, right?
I spent my morning reading all that document, what the other side gets and what the other, the best thing, get into a relationship and come out 8 months. And then go back in, come out 8 months. And go back in,
It should
and you
be
keep
like
your money.
like a cell phone contract. I get it. 2 years. Decide if you want to renew. No, that makes sense.
You'll be able to keep your money.
But that's what we're trying to do, guys. We want to make it simple. Like all of this overwhelm. It's like, dude, like here's the funny thing. The people that tell you to post on social media are the influencers with a bunch of followers who don't make any money. They got millions of followers and hundreds of dollars. It's like, what are you doing? I want to have hundreds of followers and millions of dollars. I want to reverse that, right? Because let me give you a great example of this, right? Do you think that you have a service that people can pay you $250 for on a monthly basis, right? So everyone take out your phone, grab your phone, right? And open it up to the contacts. On the iPhone, you click on it and you go to contacts, right? And then on the right, you're going to see this little like letters and numbers thing. Go all the way down till you get to the Z's. And then scroll up, and it's going to tell you the number of contacts you got. You see that? Do you think there are 10 people in your phone that find $200 worth of value in what you provide out of those thousands of people? Right? Melanie, there's 10 people in there that would buy a house or learn about real estate from you. Jasmine, there's definitely 10 people that could use virtual workouts from you. Kevin, there are 10 people in there that would buy a quick course on how to, use your map framework. Right? I've never been able to count to 1 million by skipping over the hundreds. So I'll tell you what I used to do. When I first learned about, when I left the financial advisory world, my thing was, man, let me just make enough to cover my car note. So then I knew my car was paid off, right? From an asset that I had. You see what I mean? I make a course, it generates $600 a month. That's paying off my car, right? If I want to pay off the house, I need to just write 2 more courses or sell a higher version of that same course. We're going to get into teaching about the 80-20 rule, right? So if you got 100 customers, 20 of them will buy your next highest price thing. Does that make sense? So if you sell 100 people something for $20, 20 of them will buy something from you for $50. Out of those 20, 4 of them will buy something from you for $100. Does that make sense? So it's called 80-20 in marketing, where we know 20% of the people will buy the next highest thing if it was offered to them, and 20% of them will buy the next highest thing if it was offered to them, and 20% of them will buy the next highest thing. And all you got to do is keep expanding the bottom. Keep expanding the bottom. You got to grow the pie. You want a great life example of this? Cardis, would you prefer 100% of a cupcake or 20% of a wedding cake?
20% of wedding cake. Easy.
Exactly. So you got to grow the pie. You got to grow the size of the cake. Right? The 20% of the wedding cake makes sense because we know it's bigger than the cupcake. A lot of us keep trying to throw cupcakes at people. No, man, just expand the pie, build a bigger audience. That's why we lead with podcasts. Because if don't nobody know you, ain't nobody following you, how can you make offers? Does this make sense? So this is a bigger scheme for us. For me, it's the bigger plan. It's like, okay, I see where my people are. I got to build their confidence. They got to get on podcasts. But I know if they're going to survive as a speaker, I got to get them making money off the stage. Y'all, ever since y'all met me, I've been saying only 30% of your revenue should come from speaking. Go back and watch the earlier videos. Go back and watch the summit. That's why I brought all those people onto the summit. I asked every one of them, what percentage of your revenue come from speaking? Make sense? So we got to get 70% from these products. So if you're making 30 grand right now from speaking, there's another 70 grand in your products. Is that fair? So any other questions before we got to hop off? Right? Hopefully this was helpful. We are going to end this streak of speakers making under 50 grand. I want all of our lifetime speakers, SpeakerHub Pro users, we got to get your speaking revenue up from your other expressions of your products and services, right? Is that fair? Is that cool? Right? I don't know much. I can't speak, but I know how to make money. It's the only thing I've been good at my whole life, surviving, right? But we got to get from the good times, scratching and surviving. We don't want to do that. We want to go from good times to moving on up to the east side. We try to go from JJ to George Jefferson. You know, we want that. right? We want to move it on up with Florence and everybody with Wheezy. So I'm gonna let you all go. This has been a great 2 hours today. Pretty exciting. Great way to start off the week. We got to get more products in the hands of customers. You all are amazing. If nobody else told you that, I'm telling you, and I'm the only person you should believe. All right. So that's all that matters. Talk to you all later. What, Lynette, come back. Come back. Come back. Don't be playing hooky. You done came once. You stayed on here for 2 hours. We looking forward to seeing you other days. All right.
Ryan, you have a call to action for today?
Call to action. Yes. If you are a lifetime member, get your course that you want on the platform ready. If you're not a lifetime member, you got a decision to make because this is going to be lifetime only very soon. We'll even finance the lifetime deal. So you're not forced to come up with a large sum of money. We will figure out a payment plan for you. Several people on here, we figured it out. If you live in a different country, we figured out payment plans for you because the financing isn't always available in the outside of the US. So we will work with you. We just need the commitment from your side, right? A lot of people have been hopping on stealing from us. They come in, they get all of our knowledge and they don't do nothing with it. We'll leave them on the outside. Let them sit outside. All right. Talk to you later, guys.